This is a great property located on Lake Nicaragua in Nicaragua. It's really quite near Granada, Nicaragua. It takes about 10 minutes to get to the land. As you can see, it's an island property. It's the entire island that's for sale, along with it has several outhouses. The main house, it has a guest house which consists of 2 rooms, 2 large rooms, and 2 full bathrooms. It also has the custodian quarters, which is a house in itself, which is located on the shoreline. The main house is about 25 feet above the lake level there. The water looks a little murky, but in fact it's quite clear and drinkable. It takes about 10 minutes to get from the beach line there in Granada to the property. It has a couple of boat docks so that you can certainly dock your boat. Currently they're using one side of the boat dock as a swimming area, so they've kind of screened it off and you're able to swim in it. Water seems to be around 60 to 75 degrees almost all the time. This is, like I said, a well-maintained property. As you can see, that's the area that takes you down by the boathouse. This is the patio area at the main house. It's quite large. You can entertain quite a few people here. In Nicaragua, with the weather being between 70 and 90 degrees year-round, there's a lot of outdoor living going on. Most people don't spend their time in the house. They actually live outside of the house. There was just a barbecue area there with a barbecue pit right there with a built-in grill. Extremely nice area. Very nice. All brick, tile floors, tile walls in the house. Just great. Right up above that area there is a basketball court. You go up those stairs, you go to the basketball court, and you go to the guest house. This is the entrance to the main house. As you go in, you first go into a very large kitchen area. It's got a large center island, a stove, which is a propane stove, run off propane gas. There's a microwave oven there. It's all tile, built in. There's a bodega for food storage, sort of like a pantry, we call it. As you see, there's a freezer in there. Excuse me, that's a refrigerator is actually in there, as well as food storage. There's a half a bath down the way off of this room, which would be for guests that you might be entertaining. It's a modern bathroom and a fairly decent sized bathroom. As we continue out of here, you get a sort of a view of the rest of the kitchen area there, how large it is. And as I say, most of the time people are entertained, you're outside, you're not really just hanging around in the kitchen, you're out in the patio there. And you can see through the louvered windows, that's the patio area, completely covered. The landscaping is great. Can't say enough about the landscaping. 3 tiers. There are 2 bedrooms in the main house. This is one of them. It's certainly it's a decent sized room. I think these rooms are going to be about 15 by 15. That's the view from the window of one of the bedrooms. The other bedroom we couldn't photograph because it's being occupied right now by the owner. Actually, he's in there asleep. There's a master bath off of this bedroom, which is right there. The door that you see right there goes into the other bedroom. So this bathroom rather, is shared by the 2 bedrooms of the main house. Large shower, very large shower. There are no bathtubs. Typically we don't find bathtubs around. We see mostly large showers. Modern toilet, modern washing for your hands. I'm getting confused between English and Spanish here. Again, there's a shot of what's in the kitchen. This is your maid's bathroom and shower. There's a maid's quarter attached to the main part of the house, and this is the room for the maid there. Now, as we come out of the maid's quarters, which this is the maid's quarters there, it's a pretty good sized room in itself. Up these stairs and straight ahead there, I think we're going to take a look next at, let me see, what's this going to be? Oh, that's our water tower, where water is pumped up and held there filtered down, and with an air compressor, not an air compressor, but with water pressure, you get pressure into the house. The water's pumped right from the lake. This is your basketball court. I was surprised to see this here, but it's a nice little touch. Nice touch, to say the least. And frankly, you could also use it as a patio if you wanted to eat there. There's another view of part of the house. The house is not really visible from any one point on the island or off the island, where you can get a photograph of the actual house itself, which in a way is pretty nice because it's fairly secluded that way. Now, as you leave the basketball court and head on back around, you go to the guest house, which is a separate building. Now, the guest house, there it is in the background, that consists of 2 large rooms and 2 full bathrooms. The rooms themselves are at least 16 by 16. The bathrooms are quite large, you'll be able to see. All the rooms have their own individual air conditioning. There's electricity, obviously, to the island. There's cable TV service to the island. And that's your bathroom, all tiled, nicely done. These 2 rooms and 2 bathrooms are almost identical. They have separate entrances. As you'll see, we'll move on to the next one pretty soon, which I believe this is the second bathroom. I can't tell here. No, we're still in the first room, the first guest room. Leaving the first guest room, going to the second guest room. So we'll be in there shortly. There's their second guest room. And the bathroom, like I say, which is identical. They're just opposites. Air conditioning, electric outlets, as I said before, internet, and cell phone for telephone use. Of course, you can also have a telephone connected to your internet if you care to. The landscaping here is sort of 3-tiered. The island is a little over 1.5 acres in size. They say it's a little under 1.74 acres, or a little less than a manzana, which is 1.74 acres. It is really lush. The property seems to be well kept, well maintained. The house is well maintained. The grounds are well maintained. There's a live-in. The caretaker lives on the premises. We'll see that building before we leave. It's a 2-room building with a full bathroom and a patio type area. There's also another structure on the property, which is a smaller structure, which is for storage of any boating materials or boating supplies or gardening supplies, things of that nature. We walked around most of the island. Well, I'll say at least probably half of it. I won't say most of it. Half of it. And just kind of looked out at the lake. Your closest neighbor, their island is about 50 feet from yours, but then the next closest is going to be 100 yards or so, so then the islands start getting spread out. I didn't really look closely at the home on the other island, but I noticed they had a big yacht park there, so I'm assuming that the property is a pretty nice property. The water is clear. It's certainly fishable. There are bass. I believe there are tarpon in some part of the water towards the river. It's certainly navigable, and there's a breeze here just about all the time. It's an extremely comfortable and beautiful location. The views, I mean, you have views of the, we'll call it the mainland, which is sort of part of Grenada. You certainly have views of other islands and of Lake Nicaragua itself. Now, Lake Nicaragua is, I think it's close to like the 3rd largest lake in the Western Hemisphere or something of that nature, but it has a reputation for several things. We had a quick look there at the pump house that pumps the water up from the lake into the holding tank, which I believe is 3,000 to 4,000 liters. The house itself is somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 square meters in space, which is frankly large enough. I mean, in this climate and in this area, honestly, there just isn't a whole lot of entertaining that I see that's ever done inside the homes. It's usually done on your patios. People go in and go to sleep, and the rest of the time they're living outside. They're watching TV out and on their veranda or their patios, and it's just a great peaceful life. This is the back of the house from what little we can see of the house. Like I said, the house sits up on about 25 feet or so from the lake's edge. Looks here like we're headed back down towards the boat docks, which I think we're going to be able to get a view of the right. That's leaving the patio, leaving the front of the house. There again is your barbecue pit there to the left, or your cook grill and cook area. We'll head back down those stairs, which are a little bit to the right of the screen, and that'll take us back to the boat docks and down to the caretaker's house where the caretaker lives. That's our guide there. That's a card for the owner. Of course, we could edit that out of there. The water's edge. Next scene, I believe, is going to be our caretaker's property. This is the bodega. This is for the boat motors. Let's see, where are we? You know, yard stuff and all that. Oh, that actually is the outbuilding that's used for storage. These are our boat docks and a swimming area that they've taken one at the side of the boat dock and fenced it off, and they use it for swimming. Internet. You can see the boat that we came on over to the right. And then we're going to stroll around. I think we're about to get in and maybe take a cruise around the island so that you can see it from the water. It's really quite a nice place. Like I say, well maintained. You see the patios, everything's stone. There's space on the island in case you want to build another outstructure for some reason, for another home and another main house. I mean, there's quite a bit of space there for building. There's also lots of stone on the property, so it's unlikely that you would have to import any from anywhere. You could use the stone which is already basically on the island. So we're going to take you now and give you a look. You're looking out over the water there. You can see some of the other islands. This is actually a tourist boat that we brought over to give us a lift. Okay, it's about a 10-minute ride from the beach and from the beach of Grenada. There's plenty of birds, and oh, it's just so nice and peaceful. Weather's great. The water level's a little high this year, I think, because they had a lot of rain. So normally I think you'd be down about another foot this time of year. However, nothing seems to have flooded or been overrun there at this particular property. We have seen some properties that are a lot closer to the water. That railing there, that's where it's fenced in, so you can use that as a swimming area. And I assume it's fenced in just to keep kids inside that area as opposed to drifting out to the lake there. Now we're going to take a cruise around the island, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to take us a couple of 3 minutes here to kind of boat our way around. It's a gorgeous place, extremely private. The hospitals are right in Grenada. The airport is about an hour and a half away from Grenada. Which now your boat ride is about 10 minutes from Grenada, and then the airport's about an hour and a half away. Grenada itself is, Managua, that's the Managua airport in Nicaragua, is about an hour and a half away. The Managua itself is just about 45 minutes away, if not a little closer. The road is great all the way. It's 2-lane highway. And Grenada itself is really a location for expatriates there. I mean, it's loaded with people from all over the place, from all other countries. It's being people are just buying up property there like you wouldn't believe. It's a pretty nice place to hang out. You've got markets. You can buy about anything you want to buy. It's a great little place, and Grenada's a walk-around town. So really, this is a place you don't need a car at all. The labor here is relatively inexpensive, if not extremely inexpensive, when compared to the United States. And your labor cost here would be somewhere around $25 to $50 a week for your caretaker. That's it. And the same would be if you lived there and had a maid. But this would be a great place for summer retreats. Be a great place to send your friends if you wanted them to, or rent it if you wanted to some of your friends, or frankly, just year-round living. Here in Nicaragua, there's two seasons, the wet and the dry. This is January. It's currently the dry season, but as you see, it's still fairly green. It starts getting a little warmer around April, and starts looking a little bit drier, but we're on an island here, so these trees stay green. I mean, there's water everywhere here, plus the water's free, so you can water stuff if you want and if you need to. That's the other beauty about having a swimming pool here. You fill it free. Now we're working our way back around, I think we're done here. We've seen the whole island. As you can see, it's $424,000. You can contact us at LandOfRetirement@gmail.com, 315-498